Spee. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt a connection to something ancient and vast? A feeling that your life, your story, is part of a much larger cosmic tapestry. Today, we're diving into a story that feels exactly like that. A tale of love so powerful it seems as though it was charted by the stars themselves. This isn't just a romance. It's a journey about destiny, connection, and the idea that some bonds are forged in celestial fire long before we ever meet. Imagine two souls, born under different constellations, their paths seemingly destined to never cross. All on one side, we have Alara, a dreamer, a girl who finds more comfort in the silent wisdom of the stars than in the grand halls of her affluent family. Her world is one of expectations, of legacy, of a future already mapped out for her. She's supposed to marry for status, to secure alliances, to uphold a tradition that feels as cold and distant as the moon. But her heart, her true self, yearns for something more, a love that burns as brightly as a supernova. On the other side of the city, under the very same sky, lives Orion. He's a street artist, a poet of the pavement, whose canvas is the crumbling brick walls of the old district. He doesn't have wealth or a prestigious name, but he possesses a richness of spirit that few could ever comprehend. His currency is passion, his legacy the fleeting beauty he creates for strangers to see. He looks at the same stars as Alara, but he sees them not as distant, cold entities, but as fellow dreamers, painting the night with silent, shimmering light. He sees stories, tragedies, and epic romances in the cosmic dust. Their worlds were parallel lines, destined, it seemed, to run alongside each other forever without touching. But fate, as it often does, had a different plan. It wasn't a grand ball or a chance encounter in a park. It was a meteor shower. A night when the heavens decided to put on a spectacular show. Drawn by the celestial display, Alara slipped away from a suffocating family dinner, seeking refuge on a secluded overlook that offered a perfect unobstructed view of the sky. And who else would be there, capturing the fleeting magic of the falling stars with a piece of charcoal on a weathered sketchbook? Orion. He didn't notice her at first, lost in the dance of light above. It was Alara who spoke, her voice barely a whisper. They say each one is a wish. Orion looked up, and in that moment, under the cascade of cosmic fire, their two separate universes collided. The connection was instant, electric, a silent recognition that their souls had been searching for each other across an ocean of stars. That night, they didn't just watch the meteor shower, they shared their worlds. He showed her how to see the constellations, not as static shapes, but as characters in an epic saga. He told her of Andromeda's sacrifice, of Perseus's courage, and of his namesake, Orion the Hunter, forever chasing the Pleiades sisters across the sky. In his stories, the stars came alive, filled with passion and longing. Alara, in turn, shared her own private universe. She spoke of her fascination with astrophysics, of nebulae, where new stars are born, of the immense beautiful loneliness of space that somehow made her feel less alone. For the first time, she wasn't just the heiress to a fortune, she was a fellow stargazer, a kindred spirit who understood the language of the cosmos. As the sun began to paint the horizon with hues of pink and gold, they both knew that this was more than a chance meeting. It was a celestial appointment. Their secret meetings became their sanctuary. Under the cloak of darkness, they would explore the city, finding beauty in forgotten places. They'd lie on rooftops, tracing the Milky Way with their fingers, their conversations weaving a universe that belonged only to them. For Orion, Alara was his muse, his brightest star. For Alara, Orion was her anchor, the gravity that pulled her back to who she truly was. They were, in every sense of the word, star-crossed. Their love was a beautiful, brilliant secret, a hidden constellation known only to them. But secrets, especially those that shine so brightly, are rarely kept for long. The averse of duty and expectation that Alara inhabited began to close in. Her family, with their rigid plans and cold ambitions, could never understand a love like hers. To them, Orion was a nobody, a fleeting distraction, a stain on their carefully polished legacy. They saw his art not as passion, but as poverty. They saw his freedom not as a virtue, but as a lack of discipline. The opposition was swift and brutal. They forbade Alara from seeing him, confiscated her phone, and placed her under what felt like house arrest. Thoughts of her grand home became a prison, the gilded cage she had always feared. Her father's words echoed in her ears. This infatuation will pass. You were born for greatness, not for scribbles on a wall. We have a path for you. Every word was a dagger to her heart, an attempt to extinguish the star that had just begun to shine within her. The pressure was immense. They paraded suitable, wealthy suitors before her, each one a reminder of the life they demanded she lead. The night sky, once a source of comfort and connection, now seemed to mock her from behind her bedroom window. She felt like a star being pulled into a black hole, its light and life being slowly siphoned away. The separation from Orion was a physical ache, a tearing of the cosmic fabric that had so beautifully woven them together. But love, true love, doesn't simply surrender. During a moonless night, a night of deep, profound darkness, Orion did something audacious. He climbed the ancient ivy that snaked up the wall to her balcony, just like a hero from one of his celestial stories. He didn't have a grand speech or a treasure to offer. He had only a single, folded piece of paper. When Alara opened it, it wasn't a letter. It was a drawing. It was a star chart, but not of the sky above. It was a new constellation, one he had created. Two figures, reaching for each other across a glittering expanse, their hands almost touching. He had named it Elara's Heart. Below it, he had written just 5 words. Our sky is waiting. In that moment, all her fear, all her doubt, dissolved. This wasn't just a romance. It was her destiny. To stay would be to let her own star die out. To go with him was to chase a new dawn. Her decision was made. With nothing but a small bag and the star chart clutched in her hand, she slipped out into the night. It wasn't a flight of fancy. It was an act of survival, an emotional elopement to save her own soul. They met at their spot, the overlook where their universes first collided. The city lights twinkled below, a sea of artificial stars they were leaving behind for something real. Hand in hand, they didn't look back. They ran towards the horizon, towards a future they would write themselves, guided by their own constellation. Their journey was not easy. They had little money and no plan, only their love and a shared belief in their destiny. But what they found was a richness her old life could never offer. They found freedom on the open road, wonder in simple sunrises, and a home in each other's arms. Orion's art flourished, inspired by their journey and the boundless love he felt. Elara, free from the golden cage, discovered her own strength and voice, becoming a storyteller, sharing their tale with others who felt lost in the dark. Years passed. They built a life together, a life that was messy and real and breathtakingly beautiful. One evening, they found themselves on a remote coastline, far from any city, under a sky so clear it felt like you could reach out and touch the cosmos. The Milky Way was a brilliant, shimmering river overhead. As they lay on the sand, an older, wiser, and deeply content couple, a news alert popped up on their phone. A new, powerful telescope had just captured the most detailed image of a distant nebula ever seen. They opened the image, and their breath caught in their throats. There, in the swirling clouds of gas and dust, where new stars were being born, was a shape, an unmistakable, ethereal formation of 2 celestial figures reaching for one another across the cosmic dust, their forms glowing with the light of nascent stars. It was their constellation, Elara's Heart, a shape they thought existed only in their imaginations, in a drawing on a folded piece of paper, was real. Written into the very fabric of the universe, a celestial confirmation of their love. In that moment, they understood. Their love wasn't just a story they told themselves. It wasn't just a metaphor. It was a cosmic truth. They weren't just star-crossed, they were written. Their destiny had been there all along, glowing in a cradle of stars, millions of light years away, waiting for them to find it and to find each other. Their story wasn't just a part of the cosmic tapestry. It was one of its most beautiful, shining threads. Thank you so much for joining me on this cosmic journey today. This story resonated with you. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales that explore the magic of our universe. What do you think? Is our destiny written in the stars? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep looking up.